Hi, I'm Annie Botticelli, and this is the Storyteller Forecast for Pisces for December 2016. Go to my website, anniehelpsyou.com, see what's new on my blog, and check out to see if there's still room in my coach, certification, and online business course. So what's going on in this month of December? We've got plenty of sweetness from November carrying over for the entire month of December, which I'll get more into later. My theme specifically for Pisces this month is called Necessary Motivation. When we have a bunch of planets in Sagittarius, as we do in the month of December, it's a fiery force that brings your water to a boil. It brings your latent potential into an active form. So we think of fire and water sometimes as not mixing. And in some ways, that is true. However, when you combine fire with water, there are lots of magical alchemical things that can happen. And so this month, along with the Sag energies that are bringing your water to a boil and all the sweet aspects that we have going on, can offer you plenty of necessary motivation to try to figure out your place in the world, your place within the group, what you're here to bring, and how you can get more clear about that. The planets will also start moving into Capricorn. So while the Sag planets are present, there's this movement into Capricorn, and Earth is a sign that blends really well with Pisces naturally because it holds the flow of your water. So it like creates a framework for you to fill your water and your emotion and your passions into. So that's the theme of what we're presenting this month, and that will carry over into the retrograde planets that run all the way through the end of May. Bach flower remedies are one of my all-time favorite resources. They are natural flower remedies that are very subtle but very potent. You just drop them in your water. You can use them on kids. You can use them on pets. You can put them on your skin. You can drop them under your tongue. They're very, very powerful. And I'm going to make a recommendation for wild oat Bach flower remedy. It's BACH flower remedy. And you can find these on Amazon, or you can find them at many health food stores. This Bach flower remedy is one that is amazing for helping you to get clear on your path. And that's what the theme for this month is, trying to help you figure out. What is it that you want to do? How do you want to present it to the world? How can groups and affiliations with other people and social media and all of these types of things facilitate your placement in the world, what you're supposed to be doing here? We're entering a time period where it's going to be more of a time to try things on. If you haven't already launched something by December 3rd, then we're kind of moving into a time where it's good to work in the backdrop instead of pushing things forward. But there's plenty of fodder here for you to get really clear on what it is that you're doing. So that's the theme for the month. Those things are specific for Pisces. So I'd like to go into the things that are general transits that will be relevant for all signs, including you. So I'm calling the month of December the general theme of the month of December that will hold true for all signs, gifts from the past. That sweetness that covered November moves into December. We've got so many sweet aspects in the month of December. It's very exciting. So the difference between November and December, since there's a lot of sweetness in both, is that November up until around December 3rd is completely clear for new launches, bringing things out into the world, making big decisions, taking decisive action, anything new. Establishing birth dates for important things like establishing LLCs, getting domain names, anything that you would want to do that has an imprint of something new and moving forward. November has all of that sweetness that is geared towards these launches. However, December, starting after December 3rd, the Mercury retrograde shadow energy starts to seep in, and it begins this very long-term theme through the end of May of 2017 of moving backwards, trying things on, looking back to the past, studying, researching, planning, getting things ready in the backdrop, studying to push forward at the end of May, June, July of 2017. So I call this month Gifts from the Past because there's a good chance that a lot of things to help you move forward are going to come from the past But there are a couple of things to keep in mind. The first thing to keep in mind is that a lot of the transits that are occurring that are so sweet in the month of December involve 60-degree angles. And 60-degree angles are ones that want you to take some action in order to get the rewards. Some aspects, like trines, you don't necessarily have to do anything, and it kind of just can bring things. And while the 60-degree angle can also just bring something, in order to fully activate the potential, you have to do something with it. So there is action requested throughout the month, but we have to remember two important points. The first is that since this retrograde energy is starting to come in, it's important to not work too hard or push too hard for certain outcomes. It's okay for you to be busy in the backdrop. It's okay for you to be looking forward to a goal out into the future, but trying to get too much done or out in the month of December, there will be roadblocks, and you'll have energy that's kind of pushing you back, kind of like the tide. If you're trying to get a boat out and the tide is coming in, you'll start to feel the energy of the tide coming in December, and it will stay in for quite a while. So the second thing to remember is to understand the short-term nature of the transit. And that is true from December all the way through the end of May of 2017. So it doesn't mean you can't do anything for this 6 months. We saw very similar energy last year moving into January through the summer of 2016, because we had Mars retrograde. When we have a succession of personal planets in retrograde, the energy is just sort of not wanting your final product to be pushed out at that time, but you can make plenty of headway. It's just kind of going back and in. So as I mentioned before, like studying, researching, planning, organizing, experimenting, trying things on, moving along a continuum that you've already started. So let's say you launched a blog in November. Blogging throughout December through all these retrograde planets through May is totally fine. You just want your launch of your blog to occur in the good launch time. If you can't launch because you've missed the opportunity to do that, it doesn't mean you can't be working on activating your goal. Now, we'll use the blogging as an example there. Let's say you have this idea for this blog, but you didn't launch it in good stars, but you're excited to get going on it. The best way to handle that is to write your articles, but don't publish them. Get really clear on the direction of your blog and just do all of this work in the backdrop. And then when the stars are good again next summer, or winter for our friends down under, then you can take all the stuff you've done and just post it and push it out. So that's a really good example of what we're trying to do here. A time to try things on. So besides a little bit of challenge in the middle of the month and kind of an overtone of a challenging transit, the rest of the month is super sweet. So for those in the United States or whoever else has holidays at the end of the month, there are beautiful holiday transits all through the end of December. And then at the same time, there's this concurrent theme of Jupiter in Libra opposing Uranus in Aries. So what we need to know about that is that this energy doesn't come together very often. It happens once every 14 years or so. So the theme is necessary change to bring about expansion. Lately, I've been seeing the woodpecker. I always look for the messages that the plants and the animals and whatever else has for me. And this theme of the woodpecker is coming up really strong as I was planning to do these horoscopes. I saw woodpeckers or heard woodpeckers several times in my organizing process for the horoscope. So I feel like it's relevant here. The woodpecker in the animal tarot deck that Ted Andrews put together, which I love all of his work, talks about doing things in new and unique ways that are specific to your way of moving in the world. When the woodpecker shows up or this transit shows up, that will be a theme in December. It's a challenging theme, but it's happening at the same time as all these other sweet aspects. It's demanding that you figure out how you can do what has to be done in your own unique way. So you might have to break with tradition by using wisdom from the past or intuitive understandings. Some other things that are helpful for this transit are utilizing group connections. the energy really wants this, this connecting with other people. You know, so Uranus rules the internet, and it also rules social interactions. So there are many people that have this gap between where they are and where they want to be. And what will fill that gap in is connecting with other people and being part of a group of like-minded people where they can get support, etc. So that's one other way. Something else that is a major theme for this transit is befriending the internet. And if you've already befriended the internet, getting to know more about it and how it can serve your purposes. And that's part of what this clash is about, you know. Many people really need the internet to do what they really want to do, but they're afraid, as you should be cautious, and it's important to be educated. But at the same time, you have to push through that resistance, and this theme of this transit is very much about pushing through resistance. So I'm going to give you the great dates in this month of December, and please note that every date that I give you, you can always have the potential to feel the energy of that transit before or after the actual transit, okay? And also, if you would like to see why these transits are good and get more information about the month ahead for your planning purposes, definitely sign up for my free email newsletter on my website, anniehelpsyou.com. You get free gifts, and you get my newsletter that comes a month early before the upcoming month, so that you get more details than I give in the horoscopes about the certain dates and why they're good or why they're challenging. So the good dates for December are the 1st and 3rd. Those are your last good days for launches. 6th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 24th, 25th, 27th, 28th, and 30th. The challenging dates, and some of them are the same, there are other challenging aspects happening on some of these good dates, are, okay, so the challenging dates, 10, 13, 19, 26th, and 28th. Okay, so definitely go to my website, see what's new on my blog, anniehelpsyou.com. If you would love to be a coach and help other people with anything in their lives, spiritual coaching, intuitive coaching, life coaching, abundance coaching, wellness coaching, relationship coaching, diet, wellness coaching, you will love my new coach certification course. And there might still be room if you check on the website. This also includes my online business course to help you to do your coaching online. So check it out on my website, anniehelpsyou.com. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I will see you next year. Bye.